Hello and welcome into this week's edition of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Rewind Show right here on Racing News Now. As always, I'm your host Garth Allen. Thank you once again for joining me today. If this is your first time catching a Racing News Now video, consider going down below and hitting that subscribe button and ringing the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from Racing News Now. This is a channel where we discuss lots of motorsports, namely NASCAR, ARCA, IndyCar, and Formula One. On today's edition of the Trucks Rewind, we're looking back at today's 9th annual Gander Outdoors 150. 60 laps, 150 miles from the Pocono Raceway, Long Pond, Pennsylvania, that 2.5-mile tricky triangle. And two cautions on the day. I'm looking at the wrong thing here. 2 cautions on the day for 8 laps, and those were only the stage breaks. No cautions whatsoever in this entire race for an incident, which, I mean, with it being a 60-lap race, that's not super surprising. Not a long time here to get any incidents happening. Stage 1 ended at lap 15, and Todd Gilliland was your Stage 1 winner. Stage 2 at lap 30 went to Stuart Friesen. All right, so lap leaders on the day. Kyle Busch by far led the most laps, 43 of the 60 laps on the day. 7 laps went to Todd Gilliland, 4 apiece to Dalton Sargeant and Stuart Friesen, and 1 lap apiece went to Erik Jones in the 18 truck and Myatt Snyder in the 13. So let's get into the results. Kyle Busch is your winner, his 51st career Truck Series victory, and you see Erik Jones there in second. We already mentioned him being in the 18 truck this week. Noah Gragson came down with something. I never heard exactly what he was sick with, but apparently he was very sick today and was not cleared to race by the Infield Care Center, and thus Erik Jones pulled into that 18 truck and actually gave Kyle Busch a really good run for his money there at the end of the race. Unfortunately, not quite able to take the victory, but did come home with a second-place finish. Dalton Sargeant with a career-best third-place finish there. Great run for him today. Closes that points gap just a little bit, but still really needs a win if he wants to get into the playoffs. Stuart Friesen in the 4th position, and Justin Haley, your Gateway winner, rounds out the top 5. Rest of your top 10 were Grant Enfinger, Todd Gilliland, Johnny Sauter, Matt Crafton, and Joe Nemechek with a strong top 10 finish in that 8 truck. Kudos to Front Row Joe. 11th through 20th, we see Ben Rhodes down here, your Kentucky winner in 11th. His ThorSport teammate Myatt Snyder there right behind him in 12th. Cody Coughlin, the 4th GMS truck, comes home in the 14th position. Bo LeMastus comes home in the 20th position, 1 lap down in that 54 truck for DGR Crosley. 21st through 30th, Brett Moffitt. Very bad day for him. 7 laps off the pace in the 26th position. At least, if there's any consolation for Brett Moffitt, bad days like this really don't make a lot of difference under this current playoff system. He's got 3 wins. He's in the playoffs. There's no doubt about that. He is in the playoffs, so, I mean, he can afford to have a few bad races like this until we get to the playoffs. And then down here, last page, 31st and 32nd, J.J. Yaley and Bailey Curry. So that's your results from today's Gander Outdoors 150 from Pocono. Now let's head over to the Media Center, as we always do, and we'll see what your top 3 finishers, Dalton Sargeant, Erik Jones, and Kyle Busch, had to say after this one.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a surprise. You know, I didn't think that I'd be running a truck race today, but it was fun. I mean, hopped in after final practice and got the final fitment done in the seat and everything, and it was a little snug. I know it was a little smaller than me, I believe, but it was close, and we went out, and the truck was great. I mean, I asked Rudy, I said, I'm driving this thing today. Did you at least give me a pretty good truck? And he's like, yeah, I think it's pretty fast. So definitely had good speed, and I think really if we could have gotten out front at the end, we probably could have held Kyle off, but just got stuck on the bottom on that restart, lost a couple spots, and just took too long to get through traffic to go up and challenge. But it was a fun day.
Thank you, Erik. We're also joined by the driver of number 25, Performance Plus Motor Oil Chevrolet, third place finisher, and that's Dalton Sargeant. Dalton, great run out there. Outstanding to see you in the media center post-race. Can you talk about that run out there in Pocono?
Yeah, I mean, overall, it was a really good day for us, starting up in the top 5 and, being able to take home a top 3 finish. Hopefully it's some well-needed momentum that, we can kind of build off of here in the next couple races. Really looking just to kind of get a win, whether it be at Michigan or Bristol, just to kind of make the chase. We've had some bad luck and made some mistakes throughout the year that have cost us, pretty big. So overall, really good day. Can't be too disappointed by, getting beat by Kyle and Erik. But, we still have some big steps to take and, continue to improve and, try and catch up to these KBM trucks and, continue to grow as a team as well.
It feels good. Obviously, it's been a true testament just to the people that I've worked with and the races that I've been able to score, the race teams that I've been able to score wins with over the course of my career in the Truck Series. And, racing with Morgan Dollar, I don't think I ever won with them, but, racing with Billy Blue, got a lot of wins with Billy, and, of course, my own team at Kyle Busch Motorsports. So just thankful for all the people that have been there and worked with me. I think I've won with like 6 or 7 crew chiefs maybe on the truck side at Kyle Busch Motorsports. So it certainly comes from a lot of great people and being able to get the job done. So it's been fun, but hopefully we just are able to continue that and making sure that the winning ways continue at Kyle Busch Motorsports, whether it's with myself and other drivers, and we can keep that going.
And we'll now take a look at the playoff grid following Pocono before wrapping up here today. And obviously nothing really changing on the winner's side of things, with Kyle Busch picking up the victory and nobody with wins picking up stage wins, so nothing has changed on that side of things. And really, overall, in terms of the order here, nothing has changed whatsoever. It's still Grant Enfinger, Stuart Friesen, Matt Crafton in on points, and it is a 94-point gap from Matt Crafton back to his teammate Myatt Snyder in ninth. A huge gap there at the cutoff line. And as we've said, we've got 2 races left to the playoffs now. If you're one of these guys outside the playoffs, you have to win a race. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it at this point. You have to win a race if you are outside the top 8 at this point to get into the playoffs. And you're running out of opportunities. We have 2 races left until the playoffs start. So these guys, Myatt Snyder, Cody Coughlin, Dalton Sargeant, Todd Gilliland, these guys have got to do whatever they can do to win a race here in the next 2 races if they want to get into the playoffs, because it's the only way it's going to happen for them at this point. And these guys, that's the thing, these guys are all really close. You got a 20-point gap from Myatt Snyder to Dalton Sargeant in 11th. And then Cody Coughlin sitting there only 15 points behind Myatt Snyder. So these guys are all really close to each other, and that's another 23 points back from Dalton Sargeant to Todd Gilliland. It's a very close battle here just below the cutoff line, but just below the cutoff line doesn't get you anything if you're sitting outside the playoffs when it starts. So these guys have really got to work on getting a win here in the next 2 weeks if they really want to get into the playoffs. And now that we have 2 races left and currently 3 drivers in on points, that tells us for sure there will be at least 1 driver that makes it into the playoffs on points. And at the rate we're going, I mean, I think we're going to have 3 guys get in on points, because I don't know that we're going to have a different winner in the next 2 races. I would like to see a different winner, but at the rate we're going, I'm not 100% sure we're going to see a different winner. Like I said, I'd like to see it. Just not convinced we're going to see it. So that's your playoff grid following the Gander Outdoors 150, and that will do it for us today on the Truck Series Rewind. We will have an Xfinity Rewind coming up later tonight for their race in Iowa. That has probably started by the time this gets uploaded. So that will be coming up later tonight. And then, of course, a Cup Rewind tomorrow for their Pocono race. And then, as always, pole position Monday night, 8 p.m., recapping everything from Pocono this weekend, ARCA Trucks Cup, Xfinity in Iowa, IndyCar at Mid-Ohio, and F1 from Hungary. Got a full slate for pole position this week. So you want to check all of that out going forward. And if you haven't done it already and you don't want to miss any of that, you need to go down below and hit that subscribe button. And you got to ring the bell for notifications, since YouTube's been kind of weird with giving people what they're subscribed to. So you got to hit that bell if you want to be sure that you don't miss anything And hit that big thumbs up button if you like this video. It is much appreciated when you do. So with that, this has been the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Rewind Show. I'm Garth Allen for Racing News Now.